Last time, we ended with something quiet. Maybe effort becomes heavy, not when action happens, but when identity attaches to it. So let's continue from there. If identity keeps attaching to action, why does it never feel satisfied? Why does finishing something rarely feel complete? Notice this carefully. You finish a task, you meet a deadline, you improve. For a brief moment, there's relief. And then almost immediately, something returns. What's next? Was that good enough? Can I maintain this? Completion doesn't feel complete. Why? Because when effort feeds identity, identity can never rest. Identity isn't interested in one action. It's interested in continuity. Not, I did well, but I am someone who does well. That difference is subtle, but heavy. Because the moment action defines you, it must be repeated to keep the definition alive. One disciplined day isn't enough. Now it must become a streak. One success isn't enough. Now it must become consistency. Effort turns into maintenance, and maintenance is exhausting. Think about how much of your energy goes into protecting an image of yourself, the productive one, the improving one, the reliable one. Even when no one is watching, you are watching, monitoring, measuring, evaluating. It feels responsible. But underneath it is constant upkeep, not of the work, of the self image. This is why rest often feels dangerous. Not physically dangerous, psychologically dangerous. Because if identity is built from effort, then pausing feels like erosion. If I stop pushing, am I still disciplined? If I slow down, am I still capable? So rest becomes conditional. You only allow it after proving yourself again. But notice, proof expires quickly. When effort feeds identity, there is no finish line. Even improvement becomes pressure. You don't enjoy becoming better. You worry about staying better. And that worry quietly drains you. Not because work increased, but because identity must constantly be secured. Now, consider something simple. Have you ever cleaned a room just because it needed cleaning? No story, no self evaluation. You finished, and that was it. There wasn't a psychological upgrade, just completion. In moments like that, effort feels clean because nothing is being built on top of it. There's a difference between effort as movement and effort as evidence. Movement ends when the task ends. Evidence never ends because evidence must support a story, and stories need constant reinforcement. That reinforcement is what makes effort feel endless. So maybe the real fatigue isn't from doing. Maybe it's from proving. Proving you are consistent. Proving you are capable. Proving you haven't slipped. And the proving never concludes because identity always asks for more confirmation. What if effort didn't have to confirm who you are? What if it could simply complete what's in front of you and stop there? No psychological extension, no narrative maintenance. Action finishes, and nothing needs to be carried forward, not even a self image. Tomorrow, after you complete something, notice what happens next. Does the mind rest, or does it immediately look for the next proof? Just observe that movement, because maybe effort doesn't feel endless because there's too much to do, but because identity never feels finished. And maybe what you are doesn't need continuous proof to keep functioning. Let that stay open.